Now, you're very welcome back. It is Sunday Night Live here on Dublin's 98, Mike Hogan and Orla Farrell, and it is an absolute honour and a privilege to welcome onto the show Mr. Drew Brown from OneRepublic. Drew, how are you?
Thank you.
Are you in good form, Drew? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're doing great, man. We're about 3 weeks into a States tour, and I'm in Decatur, Illinois at the moment.
And then you're moving over to Europe as well. I was checking out your MySpace, which is obviously hugely popular, and I was looking. So you've had the Illinois and the States tour, and you're rocking on then to start in this fine country of ours, actually down the southeast, and then you're rocking up to us in Dublin on Tuesday, 13th April in the Academy. Have you been to Ireland before, you guys?
Yeah, we have actually. We love it there. Of all the places we've been, Ireland is definitely one of our favorites.
Is one of your favourites now? You sure?
For sure.
You just don't have to say that, Drew, because I was looking through your list of cities, and you've got class places like Munich. You're going to Copenhagen. Yeah, it must be exciting to start a big European tour like that.
It always is. But the thing is, we don't get to go to Ireland that often. We've only been there. I think this will be the third or fourth time. We're all part Irish, so for us it's a big deal.
Relations in Ireland or a third generation?
We're I'm about 30%, and I think Zach and Ryan are sort of around the same.
And Drew, can you trace back whereabouts in Ireland?
The family name is O'Sullivan.
Oh, good.
So I actually at one point I had a map that said, like the original town, but I haven't been able to find the village yet.
To track it down, no worries. Well, you're 30% Irish, which is good enough for us, Drew. You'll be welcomed with 1,000 welcomes and all that sort of stuff. But come here, I was interested to read this. You probably get this a lot, but it's always important how someone's musical background starts. And in 1994, now correct me if I'm wrong here, you went to a Weezer concert with your father. Can you tell us what happened and what effect that had?
Well, yeah, it was. It was pretty crazy. Thinking back on it now, I guess I had some pretty cool parents because my dad was a fan of Weezer and Teenage Fan Club, in like the early '90s. So it was really strange because I'd loved music my whole life, and that was the first show I saw, and from that point on, I kind of knew that regardless of whatever happened, this is sort of what I was going to do with the rest of it.
Yeah, and I suppose they were great in that sense of the support they gave you to go over to LA, join OneRepublic, and I'm sure delighted with your success to date as well, because it has been a huge success that all started back in 2002. Now, I know there's been a couple of changes and jinx around the band, but you're sort of there from nearly the beginning anyway, Drew. And the success has been humongous since then. Is it something you ever expected, or you're still sort of counting your lucky stars that it all happened?
It's never. I don't think it's really set in with any of us. I mean, it's the good thing about playing music and being in a touring band and making records is there's always the next thing to do. And I think when we're old men, we'll probably look back on it and say, hey, we had it really good, and we were incredibly lucky and successful and everything. But until then, there's still so much that we want to do that I don't think we've stopped for a second to say we've made it.
And you say there's always something to do and there's always the next step. And, where do OneRepublic go from here after this mammoth tour? Will you take a break? Will you look at a new album?
Well, it's really funny. I know everything's moving along a little bit faster in Europe than it is in the States. And we're our first single is just in the last month starting to take off in the States. And we put it out in October. So we think that we're probably going to be on this record for another year or so.
So you want to break it out in the States. It must be. I was just, I was noticing that because, researching the band and that, it shows that, your three singles, obviously Apologise was absolutely huge. Stop and Stare as well. And All the Right Moves became a #1 hit in Ireland and I think Finland and a couple of other random countries. It's funny how it just hits some different cultures. Is it funny to you in that respect? It's got to be hard on what kind of market or culture or person you're going to target your music.
It's really, it's funny. You can, like, when you're writing songs and making records, there are a million things that are in your control. You can manipulate the sound of your music, and you can manipulate sort of, who ideally you would want to target it to, but the one thing that you can't control is you can't really control culture. And that's always the big shift that happens for bands. It's a right place, right time. They're saying the right things that culture wants to hear. And so I think we sort of gave up on that a while ago on trying to trying to be there with the right thing at the right time. And
yeah, well, that's it.
I think we've been really lucky.
Okay, and you say, you're a massive success in Europe. It might be slightly slower in America. Do you listen to European music, or would you listen to American bands?
We listen to a lot more European music, I think.
Who'd be on your iPods this week?
Well, I'm always listening to just a lot of older European stuff. I'm a massive Britpop fan, and just everything that came out of England from 1975 to 1980, just all the Bowie, Elvis Costello stuff. But there's some really great stuff coming out of the States too. We're big fans of The Script.
Our Dublin boys.
I mean, those are your boys. We actually did a tour with them, and those guys are amazing. And their record, their record's been out forever, and it's doing awesome in the States right now.
Well, that's it, yeah, and hopefully those guys will transfer over. And I suppose it's a similar kind of sound. Well, they're more to the pop side of things probably than you are. But I mean, if you want to kind of segment your music into some form of genre, you actually can't do it because it's semi-pop rock. There's a little bit of hip hop in there. And I think that's great, and I think that's probably why you guys have become popular in all these random countries, because you don't have an exact specific style of music.
Right, which that's awesome that you say that. That's sort of what we were going for. I think what happened with our first record is, originally at our roots we're a rock band, and we somehow broke with a strange sort of urban remix of a of a big ballady rock song, and that made us a little bit nervous at first, just because we weren't sure how that would gel with the rest of what we had to offer. And but as we kept on putting songs out that were different from that, we were really kind of shocked and surprised that people were still listening. People still wanted to hear a song like Stop and Stare, and that they would allow a band that much flexibility.
Absolutely. No, well, thank God they did, Drew. Listen, it's you've got a great group. I think the music is absolutely fantastic. You're going from strength to strength here in this little island of ours, but let's hope it breaks out to the land of America and lands there beyond. But listen, well done, and we're delighted to welcome you to the Academy on Tuesday, 13th of April. You're also doing a gig in Belfast at the Limelight on Wednesday, the following day, 14th of April. I know people can still get tickets right now from ticketmaster.ie. Drew, our regards to Ryan, Zach, Eddie and Brent, and listen, we'll look forward to seeing you here in Dublin, and take care.
Oh, thank you so much. We can't wait to get back.
Excellent. Drew Brown from OneRepublic. Appreciate you talking to Sunday Night Live here in Dublin's 98 tonight.
Thank you so much.